I'll say this, that wherever there are women and wherever there are Christian women, there's going to be marriage material. I'm just going to say that. And I think we need to change our expectations, because I think we set ourselves up with wrong expectations that are going to shift and change after marriage. And so that's one thing. But on the women's side, someone once told me, read your own mail. And so the point is, we like to, as husbands, look at, Ephesians 5:22. See, and we like to go as, hey, wives, look what Ephesians 5:22 says. It says, submit to your husbands in everything. That's not my mail. God's wrote that to wives. Wives are to read that. Wives are to look at that, and they're to submit themselves to the Lord in that as they obey it. That's their mail. It's not my job to go tell my wife what their mail says and read it for her. I need to read my mail. Husbands, likewise, love your wives as Christ loved the church. That's my mail. And so I just wanted to start with saying, I don't have much of I don't know what the terminology is, but my intention is not to try and convince any woman what kind of woman she needs to be. She's to seek the Lord. The Bible is very clear about what a godly woman looks like. And so she gets to go in the Word of God, and she gets to submit herself before the Lord, as I would tell any man to do, and say, Lord, am I becoming and operating the woman like the woman you want me to be? That's what she gets to do. And the word is not unclear at all. And I also say this, that there is, out of all of the Bible, 20 verses geared towards women and how they should behave. And then the rest of the Bible is men. How should men behave? Amen. Right? So there's that. A lot of what we're seeing in the world is because of men being boys. And I'm not blaming everything on men. I'm just saying men not leading well, husbands not loving their wives well, and then women, these wives becoming angry and bitter and saying, I want something different for my daughter to protect her from this kind of man. And so then they lead their daughters in that way. And so I would have an encouragement for any of the older women, older wives that listen to this podcast, to recognize that they have a major role. Titus talks about this, and these older women leading younger women to be godly women and to love their husbands and to teach well, it says. And so we need older men to do the same thing. We need elder men and elder women to recognize that they're not irrelevant, as the culture has made them feel, that they're more relevant than ever, because we need the wisdom and we need the history and we need the tenure and we need the dedication and the faithfulness of these older men and women who love God, have walked out their faith over the history of their marriages, to find these young women and say, what are you doing? This is right. This is what's right. Here's what you should look for. Here's how you should behave. And encourage them in what's right. And so I think we're missing a lot of that in our culture. I don't think, for a fact, we're missing a lot of that. We're all raised. I don't know how old you are, but I just turned 40 last April, and I just grow up. And I had a few men in my life that spoke into my life and mentored me. But I'm just looking back, and I'm like, where are all the older men? Like they all got older, and they're like, I want to retire, and I don't want to focus on anything, instead of seeing themselves like, I have a ministry to all these younger men. And then we were also told that old is old news. And we want youth pastors that are our age and our peers. We want leaders that are just like us, rather than looking to the older generations, looking to the people that have walked out faithfully for decades, generations. We've substituted elders for peers. And I just think that's been a detriment to our society in a big way.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, plus leave a comment down below letting us know what you thought.